Denzel, Macbeth, loved it. I love the part where it said, King Lear don't got nothing on me. Y'all gotta see it, it's really good. You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Get my name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Yes. Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? That was it. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out for Best Documentary. Now, the beauty of documentaries, because they make you, when you watch one, you feel smart. Like you watched them, like you read a book or something. But all you really did was get high and watch Netflix. So here we go.
Today, we're going to cover a very hot topic. Everyone is very familiar with the incident that took place between Will Smith and Chris Rock. Will Smith was slated to win an Oscar for playing in a movie called King Richard. And during a segment featuring Chris Rock, where he was supposed to give out an award for a documentary, he went around the room and handed out some insult. And apparently Will Smith didn't take too kindly to this. So he went onto the stage and he hit him. Will Smith subsequently surrendered. What did he surrender though? We're going to find out.
Oh, yeah.
So what you see here now is it was Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry speaking to Will Smith. Seemingly, it appeared that they were consoling him. And then later on, he goes on to speak to Jada Smith.
Is that Jamie Dornan, maybe?
And we are 30 seconds away. We need to clear down front, please. We're going to come into the audience at the beginning of this act. Please take your seats. Thank you. 25 seconds. Please clear the aisles down front. Please clear the front, please. Clear. Thank you. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3,
So what we just witnessed was Will Smith assaulting an Israelite, a black man. And all over social media, you have our sisters, black women. You also have feminists who are pro-violence now all of a sudden. All of a sudden now, hey, just with your words, it's okay now to strike somebody as long as you're striking a black man. Because before it was the feminists who got these laws passed where usually it's the mouthy wife who would say something out of pocket to her husband and she would have to get her face painted. And so the society made an agreement, that it is not okay to assault someone except if it's against a black man. Black male lives does not matter. We also witnessed a leader of the Bole. These are all devil worshipers, Denzel Washington. So he consoles the abuser, but he doesn't go and console the abused. He talks to Will Smith, Bradley Cooper talks to Will Smith, and they go over and talk to Jada. And then Will Smith, after slapping a black man, receives an award. Not just any award, but the top award that these devils all give out to each other, because the Oscars is all about idolatry. So as he's holding his true God, when he says, I want to thank God, the God that he's thinking is in his hand. The God that he's thinking is Esau. The God that he's thinking is the Baphomet. These are all Bole members.
I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees.
So yeah, I'm a little shocked that they sold the abuser.
Yeah, it's funny that they consoled the abuser here in this case, because there wasn't a victim until there was violence. And I know right now you have a lot of people, especially our sisters, that are claiming that Chris Rock is a misogynistic individual. Listen, folks, I'm no fan of any of these individuals, but the guy is a comedian. And they typically get comedians to come to these stuffy award shows like the Oscars because they don't take themselves serious.
For something that wasn't staged, it did seem like Will Smith had a whole speech planned out that wouldn't have made sense unless that had happened.
You know, it's interesting. In his speech, he didn't apologize to Chris Rock, and it seemed like he was talking only to himself as he starts to go on about the level of disrespect. Like, this guy has been in this business since around 1989. I mean, he's the only rapper. Yes, believe it or not, Will Smith used to be a rapper. He called himself the Fresh Prince. He's the only rapper that Eminem actually dissed. Eminem does not diss black rappers except for Will Smith. So, sir, you've been getting it for the longest, but it's funny. I don't see you getting on the microphone and going at this white boy, but the brother here who's around your age in his 50s, who's a tepid, timid man, you probably knew he wasn't going to hit you back.
You know, something that I thought was real interesting about this whole situation, it seems like that speech was very specific, almost like it was planned or something. Well, something also interesting to notice is that he was actually ragging on another couple, Chris Rock. And he was saying that since they both came and they're both nominated, this other white couple, I forget their names, that if the woman couldn't win, then the man better not win either. And it seems to be foreshadowing what happened between Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, because Will Smith won an Oscar, but his woman didn't. That is quite odd and definitely something to look at there.
That's a great point. And so you kind of thinking to yourself, well, you know what? I need attention.
Yes, during his entire speech that was very childish, he seems like he was, I agree, like he was talking to himself, like, I'm a protector, I'm protecting people. Like, you were trying to convince what you did wasn't wrong, and like you didn't act like a nigger man in front of the entire world.
And it's weird. You start naming off the actresses that were in the movie with you. Hey, newsflash, you're not their father. You're not their husband. You're not nothing to them. You're an employee on the set. Watch this. You're just an actor, and that's it. They did not need your protection. Typically on a Hollywood movie set, you have security. You don't need just like your wife did not need your protection, Mr. Smith, since the joke was benign. Your wife has been rocking a bald head for quite a long time. If she was concerned about her femininity, she shouldn't have showed up. She literally was wearing an expensive dress, sitting in the front row while her husband was receiving the top Oscar. You wasn't concerned about being bald then. So when he says, well, G.I. Jane, you took that to mean disrespect. Here's where the problem is. Does disrespect mean that you can step up? Because there's a fine line. Understand this thing. For you women out there who want to gas up your husbands and your boyfriend, you want to take that Energizer battery and put it in his back, and you want to wind him up. Just know that he's always going to be wound up. While he's busy out there hitting and punching people for you, he can do the same thing to you too when you're mouthy. And one thing that you need to remember too, Jada, while it was your fault, everyone saw the look that you gave your man. You wound him up so that he would walk on that stage. But you know what's interesting? Why do you think he feels like he needed to do that? Because he was emasculated by you. This has nothing to do with the joke that he did in 2016. Will Smith has since 2016 to approach Chris Rock. These guys are Hollywood celebrities. They walk in the same circles. You've run into Chris Rock many, many times. If you wanted to step up to him, you could have stepped up to him at any given time.
Jada Pinkett has definitely emasculated her man. And it's weird how you see this, like, especially our black men are just so quick to turn into guard dogs. Like you sicked him on Chris Rock.
We keep talking about Jada Pinkett and how she has emasculated her husband. You see, it's widely known that Jada Pinkett had a sexual affair with this man right here, August Alsina. He is the friend of Jaden Smith. This young drug user had sex with Jada Smith while she was married to Will Smith. And it went public, and she doubled down on it. She had emotions for this man. Look, he looks like he's the man of the family, with his shirt all open, with his hat turned backwards, probably high on cocaine.
As promised, Jada Pinkett Smith brought herself to the red table, and surprisingly, her husband Will Smith joined her. They talked about pain, healing, and yes, Jada's entanglement with August Alsina.
It's all love.
Recently, Alsina revealed to the world that he was involved in a relationship with Jada while she was still married. And even though statements were released denying the affair, Pinkett Smith is now reluctantly confirming that the relationship did indeed exist.
It's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
That's a broken man.
Woman, you can't expect people not to be angry. It wasn't really known, popular public knowledge that you had an open relationship. And I'm sorry, of course people are going to be mad at you. You're not supposed to have someone on the side, whether you're the man or the woman. You're not supposed to lust after, be an adulteress or an adulterer. And honestly, it was very funny when Will Smith was talking about protector, when his own family doesn't even want you to be the protector. Your daughter, when she was young, back in 2010, was begging Tupac to come back so he could be with her mother and her so they could be happy. You turned your son into a sodomite.
As a matter of fact, let's get into that letter real quick. Will Smith, you gave your strength over to your wife, and this is what she did with it. She slept with another man. It got public, and you were all with her on it. And then you're mad that people have something to say about it. But look at what your 11-year-old at the time.
Dear Tupac, I know you are alive someplace. I think that my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back? Can you come back so mommy and me can be happy? I wish you were here. I really do. Love you, Willow.
I wish you were here. This is the daughter of Will Smith. So Will, your wife, this is not a wife, by the way. This monster right here, this bald head gremlin is not a wife. And we're going to define who she is, but a wife is what this devil worshiper is not. Your own daughter is writing a letter to a dead rapper. Will Smith, you have failed your family. Instead of you being a man, you let this bald-headed gremlin right here be the man of your family. And what did that result in? Your 11-year-old daughter wishing that a dead rapper, a violent convicted rapist was, let's go back to the letter, so that me and mommy could be happy. So something is broken there. Sir, you are smacking the wrong individual. The person that you need to smack is you, because you, sir, are not a man according to the scripture. You see, lady, you are not deserving or worthy of any man going up and smacking anyone. You've been getting revenge on this man for the longest. You know, you could do him a favor and just divorce him, but you don't want to. That's fine. So you figure you publicly humiliate this man because he is about to get kicked out. It has just been announced that he is going to be sanctioned by the Academy. He was asked to leave and he refused.
What's just in now to the KRON 4 newsroom. I know we talked at the top of the hour about the Academy meeting to discuss any possible sanctions or punishment for Will Smith. And here's what we have just learned. Will Smith was asked to leave Sunday's Oscar ceremony after he slapped Chris Rock, but the Academy is saying that he refused to leave. And here's a statement that was just put out from the Academy. It reads, in part, quote, things unfolded in a way we could have not anticipated. While we would like to clarify that Mr. Smith was asked to leave the ceremony and refused, we also recognize we could have handled the situation differently. The statement does not give any specifics on how they tried to remove Smith. The Academy also issued an apology to Chris Rock. And this is coming as the Academy Boards of Governors is meeting right now to discuss these possible consequences for Smith. He could be suspended or expelled from the Academy. Likely, though, he will get to keep his Oscar. Smith did apologize for the assault. We do know that Chris Rock is not pressing any charges, but the breaking news we're just getting in now is that Smith was asked to leave the Oscar ceremony after he slapped Chris Rock on stage, but the Academy is saying that he refused to leave. We're still getting new details on this, so stay with us here during KRON 4 News at 3 and all day long here on KRON 4 for updates here.
Think about that for a second, folks. This is what happens when you give up your strength to a woman. And we're going to get that in the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 3. Read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Clearly, Jada was the man in this relationship. Women are supposed to be feminine. It's honorable for us to have hair. That means you were cursed by the Most High and he made you bald. You were supposed to de-escalate the situation. Stop your husband from maybe getting up, but you shouldn't have brought him to wrath in the first place. You shouldn't have been going around with other men so nonchalantly. There's no way a man could be happy in an open relationship, as in his wife having other men other than him.
So when the Lord right here says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which what? Destroyeth kings. Didn't you play in the movie called King Richard? Destroyed. She destroyed you. Let's get that precept down there. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 9. Read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 9. Lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Hear me, husband. You will worship me. You will wear panties. You will take my strap on. You will shave your body, and you will be my girl. You will wear makeup, and you will be my wife.
This is what this woman has done to this grown man. She's no good. She's destroying you.
And why are you simping for a woman that does not care about you? She didn't give any form of apology. You couldn't even do that.
Well, we're going to find out what kind of woman you're dealing with. And this is not for Jada Pinkett Smith or Will Smith. This is for all of you Negroes, especially you women who, for not no fault of your own, but your mothers did not teach you how to be feminine, cooperative, fit, according to the scriptures. In all total subjection to your husbands, learn to be a wife. Because I got news for you. If you don't become a wife according to the scriptures, if you don't obey God's laws, statutes, and commandments, this is what's going to happen to you.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet.
Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion, that's you females, you women, are haughty.
Elation, grandeur, arrogance, excellency, haughty, height, high, loftiness, pride. Height, high, pride, excellency, haughty, loftiness.
A lot of you sisters are arrogant for no reason. The majority of you guys are going to die alone. You don't got a husband because you are haughty and you walk with stretched forth necks and wanting, lustful eyes. That's what that means. Let's find out what the Lord says he's going to do to you, because this is what happened with you, Jada Pink. Verse 17, read.
Therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion.
That's why a lot of you black women are bald-headed. So look at what the Lord said. He said, therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. Make you bald-headed. Read.
And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink.
See what the Lord said? It said, instead of a sweet smell, you'll stink. Read.
And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, baldness.
Read that one more time for all you people who want to be offended about being bald. Go take it up with the Most High. Read.
And instead, a well-set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth. And burning instead of beauty.
You better get out of this haughty, arrogant, winding up your man so that he can go to jail, prison, or be put into the ground. That's not a wife. But the Lord does describe what a wife is.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
Doth safely trust in her, not her having sex with my son's friends. Read.
Verse 12, she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
Read that one more time.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
Read that one more time.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. That actually would be called playing upon tables. But is that what we get from our sisters? No. Read.
Verse 26, she openeth her mouth with wisdom.
Hey, did she open up her mouth with wisdom?
No.
She did not open up her mouth. She did not grab her man and say, baby, sit down. No, you're not going to do this here. You're here to be honored. After all these years, you're here to be honored. Do not go up there and act like a nigger.
Verse 26, she openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness.
Did she look like there was the law of kindness? Or did you see venom? I'm so mad. Rawr! Growl. Oh, they're always portraying black women a certain. No, you guys do it to yourselves in private without a camera. So stop blaming the white man. Stop blaming the media. Stop blaming everybody. Blame that woman that's in that mirror looking at you going, please.
She looketh well to the ways of her household and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children ariseth up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praiseth her. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain.
Wait, for all you women who think that it is okay for your man to run up on somebody else and possibly get his ass whooped, by the way, because he insulted your looks. Beauty is vain. It said favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, which means it means nothing.
If you are a Proverbs 31 woman and you dress modestly and you keep your head covered, your personality will make you more attractive than you may actually be. No one would be insulting you because you are not a woman to be insulted. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised.
A woman who feareth the Lord, and you women don't fear the Most High God. You actually hate him. What we're talking about here is Will Smith assaulting another black man on behalf of his middle-aged wife. And people say that they're role models. Well, let's find out what real role models are actually supposed to be. The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 2, read.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 2, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience.
Stop. Was that Will Smith? Was he temperate? Nope, he got angry. Was he patient? Nope, he was impatient. He was the exact opposite of this. And let's talk about his wife, read.
The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed.
Right here, let's look at the last one. It says, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, discreet. You took your tawdry affair and you didn't even have enough control over your boy toy to where you guys kept that sin. It said chaste. That means not a whore. Now, how could you possibly be teaching your daughter to be chaste when she sees that her mother is a hoe bag? Keepers at home. How can you be a keeper at home when you let everything under the sun happen at your home? But here's the most important part. Good, obedient to their own husbands. The precept on that word obedient is keeping your mouth closed and being in total subjection to your husband. This person, just like a lot of you Negroes, are not under subjection to any man. You refuse to be under subjection to any man, and that's why you guys are going to die alone. The Lord, according to the scriptures, is going to teach you how to be a man. Let me get the book of 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. Read.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine, no striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous.
This is what a real man, an Israelite man, a bishop, it says, blameless. You're to be blameless. The husband of one wife, not a whore, not a whoremonger. Stop making all these multiple wives by slinging your body to all these, giving your strength over to women, to multiple women. Sober, of good behavior. Walking up on stage and hitting a person just because they said something. Let me tell you something. An Israelite man, which is all you Negroes are Israelites. Whether you like it or not, you are to be of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach. But watch this. Here's most important. Look, it says, not given to wine, no striker. Does that apply to Will Smith right here? Because it said no striker. You can't hit another man. You can't hit your wife. You can't abuse your kids. Now, you can discipline your kids, but you can't run around hitting anybody. It says no striker. When it says not greedy of filthy lucre, that means dirty money. It says, but patient, not a brawler, not a brawler.
Verse 4, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Yahweh?
So it says one that ruleth his own house. In this case right here, Will Smith is obviously not ruling his house. His wife is. Maybe there's a confusion as to why blacks still do what they do, why they harm each other and all that good stuff. Let's get into it. Let's get the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. Read.
Verse 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Men that are Israelite men who are in the curses, they're going to hate their fellow Israelite brother. They're going to hate their wife, their children. They're going to leave his children. It was predicted thousands upon thousands of years ago that we would be in this single mother-led household situation.
Verse 56, the tender, delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. Just like Jada Pinkett over here, putting her man's life in danger, because normally, like we discussed before, he could have gone to jail.
So today, we just went over Will Smith surrenders. Yes, he did. He surrendered his manhood, his masculinity, his reputation. He surrendered it all. And for who? This goat-mouthed, bald-headed gremlin that's not a wife who cheated on him with this drug user. And yes, we're judging you. This couple right here, this family is part of the Bolé. The Bolé are gatekeepers. These are Hollywood celebrities that influence you. They're the gatekeepers between you dumb niggas at the bottom of the totem pole and the rich, powerful slave masters that control them. Don't envy your oppressors. Do not choose any of their ways. And with that, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.